Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Alan Wake 2, where the first of the two DLCs has released, Night Springs. If you're familiar with the Alan Wake universe, Night Springs is the Twilight Zone-esque show, the opposite of Bright Falls, the town that Alan Wake takes place in. I don't know what that necessarily means for the story. Are we kind of just going to be playing as one-off adventures that are more like spin-offs of the game, but completely unrelated to the main plot? Such as Assassin's Creed 3's DLC was like, what if George Washington was a tyrant? But it really has no figuring into the main story. Or are these surreal adventures almost like, are they tied in somehow to the main storyline? Who knows? With Sam Lake, you really never know what you're gonna get. There's also the Lake House, which I would imagine is going to be more directly tied to the plot, because it might deal with Agent Estevez, but that's going to be her arrival to Bright Falls, but that's later on. I don't know when that is coming out. For now, let us enter Night Springs. Episode 1, Number 1 Fan, which we already know. So basically what I know of the storylines, Number 1 Fan, you play as Rose, the amazing diner waitress slash nursing home nurse, who's a big fan of Alan Wake. North Star, you play as Jesse, and Time Breaker, you play as Tim Breaker, which I wonder if Sheriff Tim Breaker was named that. Well, the thing is, though, Breaker as a last name already existed for the previous sheriff, so, like, the idea of naming a character Time Breaker probably did not exist back then. Like, I would imagine this is one of those creative decisions out of convenience, where it's like, hey, we named our character Tim. Warning, are you sure? Loading into the expansion from this menu will overwrite your progress in the existing expansion quick save slot. I have started no expansions. So I should be safe.
A fan. The dictionary definition of the word is an enthusiast, a fervent devotee, an abbreviation of fanatic. What comes across to an outsider as a dangerous obsession or even madness is something entirely different from the point of view of the fan herself. To be a fan is a joyous existence, one filled with the happiness that stems from knowing with utter clarity the purpose of your life. But what if that purpose could be more still? If you could be lifted out of the flock as your idol's chosen one, the only one who could decipher his secret messages. What lengths would you go to save the object of your obsession in Night Springs?
Which is also
Tonight's cult classic episode, Number 1 Fan.
I like the font. But that's also Rose's subplot in Alan Wake 2. Like, in Alan Wake 1, she was already a diehard Alan Wake fan. Okay, she is adorable. Like, Alan Wake 2 cemented her as the best.
Life's a funny thing. You spend all your time wishing and hoping and dreaming for something, and then, bam! Destiny shows up at your door like a mailman with a package you were pretty sure got lost because you ordered it like 6 months ago. But that's okay. When your destiny has eyes like sunsets and a beard like mahogany-colored velvet, you don't really mind how it arrives.
These are awfully specific comparisons.
But my day didn't start off with all that excitement. It began like any other day did for this waitress slash protector of the town of Night Springs.
In the bathroom?
As always, Knight's Diner was the hottest spot in town, so there was plenty of work to do.
To be fair, there really isn't that much to do in town, other than go to the diner. Oh, I can't go to the storage? Oh.
Hey, it's everyone's favorite waitress!
Look who it is!
Hi, everyone!
Okay, this comes across...
Another cup of that delicious special brew that only you know how to make?
Of course. Who else wants a top up?
Me.
Right here, please.
One for me, please, and thank you.
Will do. Let me just grab a fresh pot.
This comes across like Rose's self-insert fan fiction. Ooh, optional, dispense really good advice.
My coworkers exclusively eat food from this diner.
Hello.
Another cup.
I would kill to have a passion like you do for that writer of yours. You two are destined for each other.
We sure are.
Okay, how can I dispense advice? What about you? Would you like some advice?
Hot coffee.
I heard your fan site for that writer was named best fan site in the world. Congratulations.
Thanks. It wasn't easy.
Although this almost comes across a little bit as like incomparable to at the end of Alan Wake 2, you enter
I come here 3 times a day.
that is a lot of money to spend on diner food, I gotta say. You enter Mr. Scratch's alternate world, where it's like a never-ending deer fest, and like the cheer, like the cheer and glee, all kind of self-centered on Rose. Like there are no other employees.
Here's your coffee.
How do you juggle running this diner, your bird sanctuary, and that amazing fan
Bird
site for the writer
sanctuary?
you love so much?
I work extremely hard, but also I'm naturally talented.
Well, heck, no wonder us regular folks can't keep up.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
never be as successful as you.
You won't be with that attitude. Life's not a side order of hash browns, so don't expect someone to bring it to you.
Wow. That's tough, but fair. Thank you for telling me exactly what I needed to hear.
No problem.
To be fair, I will never be as cool as Rose.
Here you go.
A person of your genius and grace is wasted serving coffee to us regular Joes and Joannes.
Oh, I don't mind.
Anybody else need some advice?
That's everyone's coffee. Better put this pot back.
Nobody else wanted advice?
The pie here is to die for.
I loved being the very successful owner and operator of the county's most popular diner. But that was nothing compared to my grease fire of passion for the writer and his sheer literary talent, and flowing hair and lips like buttery pie crust. Pie! I need to clear the empty pie plates from the tables. Shucks.
I'm distracting myself thinking about Alan Wake's buttery pie crust lips.
My date last night was a total bust. You're the expert on romance. Any advice?
Yes. But first, tell me everything.
Long story short, she told me I dressed like a divorced gym teacher. But it's what's inside that matters, right?
Right. Show them the real you and it will all work out. Talk about that mole you worry about when you're trying to fall asleep.
Well, I'll try that. Thanks a million.
Don't mention it.
Okay, I am terrible at dating / romance. But if there's any advice that I can give, don't talk about that mole you think about when you're trying to fall asleep. That is not good advice.
Is Knight's Diner going to enter the statewide pie competition this year?
Of course. We're gonna make this our 20th win in a row.
I saw in the news that you saved every single kitten from that bear attack. Amazing!
Thanks. Those yoga lessons really paid off.
All right, I'll go with it.
The writer lives just outside town in that mansion of his. Why don't you go talk to him?
Oh, we have our own ways of talking.
Okay. I feel like there's a little bit of innuendo
Better
in that.
take these plates back to the service window.
Again, are there employees? What about this burger?
Can I borrow you?
What can I get you?
Oh. I need a good book recommendation.
Have you tried?
You're the town's literature
Have you
buff.
tried this book by Alan Wake?
You have got to read the newest book in the Writer's Crime Trilogy. I'll grab you a copy from the back.
Trilogy? I'll accept it. Well, or is it in storage? It is in storage.
You better not crease any pages.
He better not dog-ear a single page. All right, what do we got? We got Beat Poetry Night for the literary advancement of Night Springs. We have Alan Wake with cat ears. Rose with cat... No, not with cat ears, but with her diner hat. Carrying Alan Wake. Very nice. Employee of the Decade Award. In recognition of basically being the best at like everything. Presented to everyone's favorite waitress. Also, if she's the owner and operator, who's giving her the award? Is it her? Two can do it. Thank you so much for taking in my 6 macaws. I know you have your hands full with all the other sick birds at your bird sanctuary, but if anyone can find a cure for their rare bird lupus, it's you. Yours truly, a young girl who wants to be you someday. The only thing that hurts more than love is loving again. Love will hurt. By America's best-selling writer.
Your
Oh,
favorite writer whose voice you would recognize in your sleep. I'm in danger. Please, my #1 fan. You're the only one who can save me.
Oh my gosh! Don't worry, I'm on my way. My beloved writer was in terrible danger, and I had to rescue him. The stakes had never been higher. Luckily, I kept all my accessories in the diner's kitchen.
also, like, didn't even question that for 1 second. Not even 1 second of being like, hey, why is Alan Wake's voice coming out of this fish? Death comes for everyone. That doesn't mean it's painless. Death will hurt. By America's best-selling writer. A man's life is ripped away. He's out to get justice and the whole city will hurt. By America's best-selling writer. Okay, so this is part 1, and then Death Will Hurt is part 2, and then Love Will Hurt is part 3. The newest part in the amazing America's best-selling writers trilogy. And this letter she got from a little girl is part 4. I don't know how the plot fits, but you know, it just takes an odd turn at some point. Nope, that's the bathroom. Yeah, take that door. You ain't got nothing on Rose. How am I cooking all of these right? Why am I cooking bell pepper? Just a whole bell pepper I just threw onto the cooking surface. I don't know what you call those.
My accessories. everything a girl needed to claim victory in the battle for love.
Ma'am.
My trusty 12 gauge, fully automatic. Extreme circumstances call for extreme shotguns.
What? Okay.
My bolt-action hunting rifle with a gorgeous stock. Deadly, and looks good doing it. Just like me. I was finally ready for a night out on the town. With danger. There was no time to waste. The shortcut through the boatyard was the fastest way to my rider's mansion in the woods outside town.
Oh my god. Okay. Hey everybody. It's me, Rose. I gotta be a hero again. Oh my gosh, this is such self-insert.
The boatyard is this way! You better hurry!
Go through the boatyard. It's the shortest route.
So is that way?
This was my moment. My chance to save the rider and make him realize how much he needed me. And if that's not love, I don't know what is.
You're gone! We'll be way worse at it!
I can tell.
Save literature. Graceful enough to save.
I was leaving my old life behind, like a body left to sink in a lake so no one finds it. Nothing would get between me and my future with the rider.
Ma'am, that is an interesting comparison. But also, like, I'm reminded that this, like, I have a fully automatic shotgun and a rifle from the get-go. Like, this is almost like a power fantasy in comparison to the main game. And also, everything kind of has the tone of pink to it. To go along with her uniform.
Now, who the heck is that?
I knew you'd come to his rescue.
Who are you?
Who are you? And why do you look like a slightly less handsome version of my rider?
Oh, don't you ever compare me to that worthless hack. Sure, I may be his wild and rebellious estranged twin brother, but we can't all be perfect.
I had no idea he had a brother. To think there were two of him all this time.
After today, there won't be. No more writer, no more books, no more living in his shadow.
But you're his brother. I'm sure you two can talk it out and realize you have so much in common, and after you change, you can move in together. And I'll come over with popcorn for movie nights.
He had his chance for popcorn and movie nights, but he wanted to keep everything for himself. Too bad. You know what they say? If you can't join him, beat him.
I'm pretty sure it's the other way around.
What did you do to him?
I locked Mr. Fancy Pants up somewhere you'll never find him.
You won't get away with this. I'll stop you.
Babe, I got an army of people that hate that hack almost as much as I do. They're ready to die if it stops him from writing another crappy book. What do you got?
I have a shotgun.
Well, I got a... Wait, that's a real shotgun? Okay, I admit that's a... I didn't expect that. But it doesn't matter. You can't stop all of us.
Oh no!
Only a monster could be blind to the poignance of my writer's books. And there was only one way to deal with
Or the controls. Nope. Why is inventory? There's a lot of healing power from those pills. All right.
Hold on. I need to fill my gun up. I need my spinach this morning, so don't mess with me. I'm fresh out of bullets.
But not out of positivity. Well, I don't like you.
Me and my writer. It's bullets o'clock.
Oh, hello.
My spinach this morning, so don't mess with me.
All right. That was action-packed action, without a doubt. Let's see if we can find some more shotgun shells, because we blew through a lot of them, and we picked up a lot of them. Do we have a maximum shotgun shell count of 60? I mean, that's still a lot of shotgun shells, especially in comparison.
My writer's jerky twin had him locked up somewhere, like a sweet, helpless prince locked in a tower. But his fan in shining armor was on her way. Luckily, one of those haters had made a hole in the fence for me.
Frickin' haters. Hello. You review bomb nothing.
Whoops! Gotta put more bullets in.
Whoops. Oh my gosh. 110 shotgun shells. Yeah. Again, it's strange that this is the power fantasy for... With bluegrass, is that? Of course, because we need more shotgun shells somehow. But also, I want to mention one thing before we go on, and that's the idea, like, this game uses a lot of existing assets for its DLC, which I feel is smart. I feel like DLC, you don't know, like, with the DLC of any game, it's going to always have fewer people buying it than the main game. And you can't necessarily guarantee, like, if you spend the money to create a lot of more assets, that it's going to be actually seen, used, and paid for, should I say, in sales. Now, you're obviously going to get...
Twins' motorcycle had left tracks in the mud. I recognized the tread pattern immediately, thanks to my famously keen perception.
Famously, of course.
The tracks would lead me right to my writer and his kidnapper. I felt like the detective from my writer's books, solving the case with my wits. All I needed now was an unlimited supply of black coffee and crippling emotional trauma caused by the untimely death of my spouse.
And then you'd be like one of those detectives. That's fine. You can maintain your constant, unending, bottomless pit of positivity. I have 300 shotgun shells.
More haters.
All right. Ow. Ah. Still terrible. But like that. Okay, that bolt action is slow. You want some? Anybody else want some? Thought I saw somebody else. Convenient, more painkillers to dull the pain. And my inventory is full. Was that necessary? Maybe not. But I feel in line with the tone. Was it that way, or do I get a map?
Why hadn't my writer ever told me he had a semi-evil twin brother? He must be waiting until our third or fourth date, surrounded by candles, so he could reveal this vulnerable chapter from the dramatic story of his emotionally troubled past. Oh, that man has more layers than a croissant.
A croissant has layers? I mean, croissants kind of like have like folds, and maybe I'm just not as experienced with croissants as she is. Also, I appreciate that all of her, like, she's got all these diner food comparisons. Like, lips like pie crust, layers like a croissant.
I couldn't let these monsters continue to plague my dear writer with their negativity. I would treat them the same way I treat trolls on my fan site. But this time, I was banning them from life.
Not banning them for life. Anything interesting up here? If I poke around? No. Also, I suppose my question now is, like, it's hard to tell if this is an area of the forest I've already been to in the game, or if this was created for this DLC. I would imagine it is, because none of it feels particularly familiar, and it's more linear than the main game itself. All the tears of all the angels in heaven were falling over the city. She wore the rain like a funeral shroud. She was in a sad state. This city of mine. But she was still mine, this filthy prison I called home. I was here for a reason. Joe Bullets Capone. He was inside drinking champagne and throwing around his dirty money, while I stood in the rain smoking a soggy cigarette. But that didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was I knew Bullets had a bad night coming his way, and he had no clue. He made me wait for it, though. My pack of cigarettes was long gone by the time Bullets staggered out the back door. I detached myself from the shadows, stepped up right beside that pathetic excuse for a man. Long time, Joe. Bullets looked up, his booze-soaked grin twisted into something less friendly. You. He reached for the pistol under his jacket, a 6-shooter with slugs big as my cigarette stubs. I'd done my homework. He barely had the piece out of its holster before I was on him. I wrestled it out of his hands, tossed it behind a dumpster. Bullets didn't like that. Gave me one right to the gut. Wind rushed out of my lungs like a soul leaving my body. Through my wheezing, I could make out the slap of boots against water. Bullets was legging it. Had to get after him. Couldn't lose him, not when I was so close. He had info I needed, the address of the last stop for this train called Revenge. So I sucked in whatever air I could and took off after him. Through the twisting maze of alleyways. 2 rats, but only 1 cheese. I pulled out my revolver. I was playing for keeps. Don't make this hard, Joe. I caught up to him as he was dropping down the other side of a chain-link fence. He sneered, teeth like rows of gray tombstones. He thought he was escaping. He thought he was safe. My body slammed against the fence like a bird against a window. I clutched the thin metal, scrambled over it, the jagged ends of wire ripping through the sleeves of my leather coat and biting into the skin. The pain was welcome. I dropped down in the alley and ran like a panther. At every blind corner, I expected a trash can lid to the face. None came. Maybe Bullets hadn't liked what he saw in my eyes as I climbed that fence. I bet he wasn't smiling now. Then I had him, a trapped rat, trying and failing to wrench a locked door off its hinges. I leveled my gun at him. You know what I want, Joe. Bullets let go of the door handle, hands as up as they'd go, beseeching a higher power not to cast him down. Come on, man. Ain't gonna bring your wife back. Can't hurt to try. Talk. Yeah, sure thing, sure. Bullets lunged for his ankle, a crack of lightning from my hand, and he was down in the gutter, clutching his belly. I walked over, calm as snow. I stood over him, watching his putrid blood mingle with the rivers of rainwater. You talk. I call an ambulance. His words were having a hard time getting through the pain. You're insane, man! Insane! I raised my gun level with his eyes. Try again. Okay. You want the big man. Yeah, I know where you can find him. Blood pounded in my ears like war drums. All the killing, the sleepless nights, the booze, the countless cigarettes I smoked while ghosts swirled around me. It was all for this. The drums got louder. Bullets caught his breath, straining against the pain. Then he spilled his guts. My #1 fan. If I don't make it, then I just want you to know that... No, I can't say it. Curse my cripplingly sensitive, artistic nature. I left the alley, told a waiter on the curb that a guy had been shot. Didn't care what he did with that information. I had what I needed.
My #1 fan. If I don't make it, then I just want you to know that No. I can't say it. Curse my cripplingly sensitive artistic nature.
But I love you because you're sensitive. Just hold on.
All right, we have to save our writer from the hordes of critics that hate literary fiction and mysteries and strange stories.
Was my writer inside?
Hello? Isn't anyone gonna rescue this poor little writer? Hello? Is anybody there? I'm just a frail writer and I require aid.
He's inside. I'm here. I've come to save you.
Oh, joy! We can finally be together and sit through beat poetry readings and drink $18 cocktails and have high tea with the queen.
Wait a minute. My writer only drinks coffee. 2 sugars, no milk. I keep all the mugs.
Okay, no more tricks. I'll be waiting upstairs.
I figured that would be too easy. Muscles don't cry, they sweat.
I bet he's doing all this because he's hopped up on steroids.
Life is not unlike a highway. The food wasn't undelicious. Bonus points if you know what that's from.
Running with wolves seems like a dangerous hobby.
Becoming the alpha. Everything you need to know to lead your wolf pack like a true alpha. TJ Wolf.
I guess writing doesn't run in the family.
Brothers, the moon can only shine when the sun is gone. The night can only come when the day is dawn. Can the sea ever meet the ocean? Is that it? That's it? That's it.
you?
I was never upstairs. I lied when I said there were no more tricks.
You're starting to piss me off, mister. Where is my writer?
I'm just having a little fun. Let's chat down at the beach. It's just out the back.
First, he kidnaps my writer. Then he calls him a tea drinker. He had crossed the line. I was going to go to that beach and give this jerk the scolding of a lifetime.
Let's see. Torture ideas for Hack Brother. Number 1, car battery. Solid potential. Number 2, pulling fingernails. Too messy. Number 3, the bell. Where the hell will I get a bell? Number 4, blunt spoon. Nice and simple. Number 5, dismantle his typewriters. Psychological
Twin said
damage.
He was down at the beach.
Number 6, gasoline/fire, but the fire might burn my cabin down. Maybe overcomplicating this. Like if you're trying to torture somebody and the first step is to make a list of torture possibilities. This beach to the right, not this beach ahead. Thank you. No. I have too much stuff. My inventory is full of shotgun
I have
shells.
To get down to that beach and get my writer back.
Hey, me and my bike were just enjoying the view.
Where is my writer?
What do you even see in that crybaby? He's boring, he dresses like a nerd,
Hush your mouth! He is a stylish intellectual who is in touch with his feelings.
You're starting to cramp my style, babe. And I'm not telling you where he is.
You are going to tell me where he is, or else.
Or else what, babe?
You asked for it. You're rude, you have no manners, your too cool to care attitude is attractive initially, but drives people away after they realize you're emotionally incapable of letting your walls down to reveal that you are a vulnerable human being just like everybody else. You are trying way too hard with that outfit.
No, stop! I don't like being seen! Listen, I never had your
The
precious
scolding was
writer.
too intense.
I was just keeping you distracted while my army of haters storms his mansion. Now the love of your life is doomed. Doomed!
Oh my god.
He tricked me, even with my famous keen perception.
Ah!
I had to get to my writer's mansion as fast as my chunky kitten heels would take me.
All right. Was that necessary? Again, probably not. Which way is it to...
My writer.
Which way is it to the... To the mansion? Is it actually back in this direction? Who is... Like that. And that! They're very accurate with their throwing. But that's not necessarily news. Oh yeah, this is back the way I came. I'm aware of your spinach eating habits.
Me and my writer. My gun's hungry.
Hungry for bullets. Let's use one of these. Why not?
I knew you, my #1 fan, would never fall victim to my twisted brother's lies. His hatred for me is as inexplicable as the sunrise, and just as fiery. But I knew your heart would never waver. You're the only one who can save me. I believe in you.
My writer believed in me. We were kindred spirits. We fit together like a bicycle chain and that spiky wheel thing the chain fits into. We were connected by love and destiny. He was meant to be mine, always and forever. There was no time to lose. I was the only one who could save the writer and the very soul of literature from these evil haters. The fate of all art rested on my
No,
shoulders.
not just literature. All art.
The stakes had never been higher.
I'm aware of how high the stakes were. You mentioned that earlier. Ah, there's his mansion. The bad boy.
If I have to stop you myself, I will. Unlike him, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty.
Skits. No thanks.
Okay, where did he go? Oh no!
I should have known. But that won't stop me.
Your motorcycle is also what? Wait, so when he's riding his motorcycle, he's riding another werewolf? Oh,
Gun's hungry.
that was the motorcycle werewolf.
Fresh out of bullets. The
Oh.
part I want is the writer. Bullets are quick. Change.
Okay, this is wild.
I'm not going to kill you. You're my darling writer's brother.
You really do love him, huh? I guess I never even had a chance. I was just jealous of his talent, his money, his velvety hair. But mostly, that he's got the love of somebody as amazing as you.
Oh, you silly werewolf. You could have all those things too. You just need to stop wanting to be him and start wanting to be you.
Your words have shown me that it wasn't my brother I hated. It was myself. Oh, what have I done? Those haters will tear him apart, and it's all my fault. Please, go save him.
Oh, I intend to.
All right, haters.
Someone order a reckoning? Whoops! Gotta put more bullets in. Spinach this morning, so don't mess with me.
Oh, you. I was one bullet short, or one shotgun shell short. Anybody else on the first floor?
Oh, gosh. I need to fill my gun up.
Oh, hello. His books make me feel dumb. Oh.
Don't forget the bullets.
Whoops. Reload. Reload. I think he's dead, Jim.
That writer isn't going to kiss himself. I mean, save himself.
Or is he? Ideas for next book. Inventive murder weapons. Stapler. Lawn gnome. Swordfish. Philosophy. Escalate the crime. Plunge the depths of humanity's darkness. A murder religion? Hero's motivation? A rival private eye? His wife returns from the dead only to be killed a second time? Too much, not enough. A waitress character who is intelligent, sophisticated, and good with a weapon smells like cinnamon and gunpowder. Hair, beard regimen of the twice a week. Wash thoroughly.
I don't have time to admire my writer's taste and decor.
Thoroughly with cold water. Gently pat dry with high thread count towel. Brush 3 times with honeycomb, bought locally at the farmer's market. Apply shampoo to dry hair. Rinse with cold water. Gently pat dry with high thread count towel. Condition often. General rules: never wear hats. Once a month, rub 3 mixed eggs, bought locally at the farmer's market, into damp hair, scalp, and beard. Avoid chlorine, heat, and inexperienced barbers.
And there he was. After all the fighting, we were finally alone. Together. Our love was written in the stars. And so we danced like 2 spinning planets that would eventually crash into each other in a dazzling display of flames and rocks and other planet stuff. He told me all the sweet things I'd been waiting a lifetime to hear. I saw myself reflected in his eyes. I would always be at his side, to inspire and protect him. He needed me, now and forever. After all, I am his #1 fan.
A fan and the object of her joy come together against a world trying to keep them apart. A happy ending for some. But is happiness, like beauty, all in the eye of the beholder? Where is the line between fandom and fixation? One can never tell in Night Springs.
Okay, I don't know if that's a copyrighted song, but we'll move on. All right, that was excellent. That was a lot of fun. I've heard that the DLC parts are very short, so it maintained what I had expected of it. It was very short, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, and like because of the massive amount of ammo your character gets, that Rose gets. Like, it does feel very different. Although, I feel like a lot of it... I was about to say, like, that front loads a lot of, like, a big chunk of story at the beginning, so you really don't spend that much time running around shooting bad guys. But I feel like it does make sense to not have, like, 1 hour of just shooting techs. Like, it sets up the atmosphere, and the atmosphere is just as important as, like, Rose gunning down all the haters to save her writer. Not to mention, it's interesting that we have a boss fight, and then some more random goons, and then the end of the game, as opposed to a boss fight, and then you save the writer. But, like, the idea of Mr. Scratch turning into a werewolf and his motorcycle turning into a werewolf, like, both of those things are very nice. Next time, we'll jump into the second expansion, the second episode, North Star. For now, though, got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.